Hello everybody, this is Todd with All Things Archery and Shooting, and today I've got another bow review for you. This is on another vintage bow that I come across. This is a 1958 Gordon Plastics Recurve Bow. Now a lot of you might not be familiar with Gordon Plastics, but they actually supply fiberglass to most of the manufacturers out there, and they were the first ones to actually come up with a laminated fiberglass process. The process they use is called Tuff. This model bow was built in 1958. It's their first year they made bows. They only made bows for a couple of years. I got some information here that I picked up off the internet to do some research on it. I'll give you a quick synopsis of this, okay? George, Don, and Dave Gordon entered into the business in partnership in 1953, producing fiberglass panels for commercial buildings and fiberglass diving boards in Southern California. In the mid-1950s, a San Diego bower named Frank Inchas approached him about making a better facing and backing for his laminated bows. After discussion that piqued the Gordons' interest, the brothers started making a fiber reinforced laminate for facing and backing for recurve bows. Early products sandwiched a wood core between layers of fiberglass and reinforced fiberglass. The Gordon brothers were a lifelong hunting and fishing enthusiasts, which helped motivate them to design and build their first line of bows, Gordon Royal Bows. That's what this line is. This is the Gordon Royal Bow line. They named their laminated standard bow Tuff. The laminate worked well on recurves and their bow market took off. Their bows performed so well that their fiberglass limbs that bow makers started purchasing Gordon laminates for their line. So basically they come up with the whole concept of using the fiberglass limbs for reinforcement, which I didn't know that, I thought was quite interesting. They called it Bow Tuff. This is the Royal line. This one came out in 1958. In 1958, they had 5 models. They had the King, which retailed for $59.50, which was a 67-inch bow. They had the Knight, which was $54.50, which had a 62-inch bow. They had the Prince, which was $54.50 also. That was a 67-inch bow. And then they had the Queen, which is $44.50, which was a 64-inch bow. And then they had this bow, the Page, which was $32.50, 62-inch bow. All right, this bow, $32.50, that's equivalent to around $500 in our money at this time. So this bow was kind of like a upper end bow, mid-range bow back in the day, but it performed so well. This bow is in excellent condition. I found this at the swap shop, believe it or not. I paid $25 for this bow, and it came with everything you see except the arrows. It came with this old school quickie quiver, the cover for the broadheads, the bow, and the string. I have ordered a new string for it. The string is kind of old. It uses a Dacron string. This one is still functional, but I did order a new string for it, okay? All right, this bow is 62 inches long. It still pulls at 54, just under like 53.87 pounds according to my digital scale at 28 inches, so it pulls right at 54 pounds. At my drawing of 29.5 inches, it pulls almost 58 pounds, 57.5 pounds roughly. The bow is in excellent shape. I mean, it's got different cores of wood in it. It's got this, they call this forest green color on the outside of it. It's got the white belly, standard of the 1950s bow, and the crazy recurve limb of the style of the 1950s bow. All right, it's not designed for fast flight, so as a standard Dacron string on, you cannot run fast flight on here. It has an old school long style nocks that they had back in the 50s. It's a medium grip. It's got a sight window that's cut almost to center, but not quite. Okay, I did install a bear hair rest on it because it didn't come with one. None of the limbs are twisted. There's no cracks in the fiberglass, which is amazing. Overall, this bow is just super clean. I mean, it just blows my mind how clean this bow is. It's 63 years old, made in 1958. So this bow's lived a long, safe life as a closet queen somewhere, or this bow's been well taken care of and used a lot. Either way, the bow's in excellent shape. No issues, no problems. Let's get a better look at the bow up close. Okay, I'm going to start with the limb tips. Start with the limb tips. As you can see, they're super clean. The belly of the bow, there's no issues, no cracking, no nothing on the belly of the bow. It did come with this quickie quiver, which is interesting. It straps around the arms right here with a little rubber band, if you can see that. It's got a rubber band right there, and it straps around with this little clip. Not sure how strong that'll be when you shoot it, but we're going to try it. Okay. Coming down the bow, sight window. It's a pretty good size sight window. I love the different colors of woods in here. Okay. Alright, I tried to find what the limbs are made of. I couldn't figure it out, so it's probably maple or some such, but I couldn't really tell because I couldn't find information on it. Coming back down the belly of the bow, the other knock, you see there's no stress cracks in the fiberglass anywhere or nothing. Here's the other knock. Even the knocks are in good shape. No dings, no bings, no nothing. Look at the front of the bow. They call this forest green, like I said. Get it off this green so you can see it better. It's called forest green. As you can see, it's a nice dark green color. Comes up. Again, there's little minor scratches and stuff from being used, but no fiberglass crack or anything like that. Here's the original name of it, which you can see here. Let me see here. Let me do this for you. You can see it better. Yeah, see, that is the page. Gordon Plastics page. Okay. Coming out, that's that rubber I was telling you about. These things fasten onto. You see how that fastens onto the rubber there? These quickie quivers. That's kind of interesting. I guess it's to keep from marring the bow finish. They got some pretty sharp teeth in there that hold it on there. Sorry about that. Coming back down again. No cracks, nothing wrong with the glass. It's really, I mean, overall, it's super clean. The quickie quiver, it's old school and rubber. It's not dry rotting, which is interesting, and it holds the arrows fairly good, as you can see. I'm just not sure how good it's going to shoot with that up here. It makes a noise. Excuse me. These are the only arrows I have. These arrows here are for 50 to 55 pound bows. They should work with this, even though I'm pulling almost 57 pounds with this bow. My draw length, a little over 57 pounds. All right. The string on it just looks like a standard Dacron string on it. It does have looks like either beaver puffs or rabbit puffs or some sort that's on it. So the guy that had it must have used this. I mean, it's in good shape. The puffs aren't falling apart in the string. A little bit of drive. I went and put some wax on, so I think it'll be good. I went and ordered another string just to be safe. All right. We're going to go ahead and take this bow out to the range now. And we're going to shoot this bow and see how she performs on the range, how she does performance-wise, what her velocity is going to be through the chronograph, how much hand shock she has, and just overall how she shoots. And we'll do a report on it. All right. Again, I paid $25 for it. This is called the Page. This is their low end, according to my information that I found. This is their low end, I guess, hunter grade model. So, I mean, it looks like good quality. But what's shocking to me, though, is they were the ones that come up with the fiberglass laminate process to put on these bows called Bow Tuff. And now people like Browning and Bear, all the major manufacturers, still use that today. And believe it or not, Gordon Plastics is still in business today. I looked them up. They don't make bows anymore, mostly fiberglass and stuff, but they supply all the major bow manufacturers now. This company's been around a long time. All right, so next what we'll do, we'll see out the range, and we'll run this thing through the range, see how she shoots. Hello everybody, it's Todd, all things archery and shooting, and we're going to do the range session on this vintage bow that I have here. This is a Gordon Plastic 62-inch Page recurve bow, 54 pounds at 28 inches. My draw length, I'm pulling about 57 pounds with it. We're going to shoot it with this quickie quiver that came with it. See how it performs. And the arrows we're shooting are 11/32, 540 grain arrows. Okay. We're going to shoot a few through the chronograph, and then we're going to shoot some at the 3D targets, my left and right, and some of the target behind me, see how accurate it shoots. All right. And let's see how she does. Okay. I want to apologize. It's been raining like crazy here the last several days. It's kind of rainy and nasty out. So I want to try to get this in before the rain gets here. So if the rain does come, I'll go ahead and we'll finish afterward. But hopefully we can get through this before the rain starts. Like I said, it's in Florida. It's the rainy season here, so it rains almost every day. All right, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, first arrow. 168. Second arrow. 163. Third arrow. 173. Not bad. Let's do 3 more just to confirm our numbers. Okay, first arrow. 161. Second arrow. 172. Nice. Third arrow. 167. Okay. For the next part of the review, we're going to shoot this target here. We're aiming for here. We're going to shoot at 20 yards. See how accurate she is. Again, I'm trying to fight this rain. I'm starting to feel drops come in now, so I'm going to try to get this shooting in for the rain gets here, but no promises. All right, I'm going to step off 20 yards, see how we shoot here. All right, see how we do. I will have an average for you guys on the velocity in the video. You'll see it written on the video. I figure it's going to be around 167, 168 feet per second for a 540 grain arrow, which, to be honest with you, it's quite respectable for a bow that's over 60 years old. Let's see how she shoots. Okay, first group, it's right on, it's about 5 inches going up, so let's move back and try that again. That's better. I am about an inch high from the target, about a 3-inch group, 20 yards to the right. Not too bad. Bow's not tuned or anything, so I'm sure we get better than that. Let's move over to the 3D target, see how it shoots on there. Again, I'm trying to fight this weather, so I want to try to get done as quickly as possible. Okay, it's a Glendale buck 3D target. This is the one with a placeable core. It's got 4 different sides to it. I did a review on this in one of my other videos on YouTube, if you were to check it out. Great little target. Let's step back 20 yards so we can get him in here. Okay. Shooting a bow that I'm not used to and not tuned, I'm getting a pretty good group. It's about a 3-inch group at 20 yards. Let's try it one more time. I got 2 hard shots and 1 long shot, so let's try out all 3 hard shots this time. 20 yards, here we go. There we go. It gives me 3 hard shots, 1, 2, 3, 2-inch group, 20 yards, not bad. Ugh. All right, let's go and move over to the hog target, see how it shoots there. All right, now that's a tight group. Let's take a look at that group more closely. All right, as you can see, that's 3 shots right in the kill zone, 20 yards. This bow's shooting really well. I mean, it's shooting where I'm pointing at it. I mean, it's hitting really hard too. So let's back up and try it on the buck now, on the bedded buck. Alright, as you can see, I got 3 in the kill zone. This bedded buck always seems to get me. It's hard shot to make. You gotta really I use a type of shooting called gap, split vision, kind of a hybrid system. So I don't really have an aiming point for my gap where I put my arrows. So I'm just guessing at it. But I still get to the kill zone though. But this is a very difficult shot. If you've got one of these at home, take the legs off, drop on the ground, do some shooting at it, because you never know when you come across a bedded buck in the wild, and that might be the only shot you have. So I practice this shot a lot, but it is a very difficult shot to make. It doesn't seem so, believe me, it is. Anyway, there it was. You saw it shoots very well. That's probably a 3, maybe 4-inch group at 20 yards. So I mean, the bow's quiet. I was really surprised, even with this quickie quiver. I mean, you would think it would make a lot of noise, but really, it's not that loud. And the bow's kind of quiet. It's got a little thump to it. The silencers did shoot off. It looks like when they put them in right, so they blew off in 2 or 3 shots. Looks like they tried to glue them on there, so I had glue residue on the string. But again, this is the string that came with the bow, so I've got a new one coming. I'm going to replace the string, and I'll replace the silencers when it comes in. But yeah, they blew after 3 or 4 shots. They just come right off the bow. So, but I mean, the bow, it shoots quiet. It's pretty quick too. I mean, come on, the money, I got paid $25 for it to swap shop. I mean, you really can't go wrong with that. I mean, it's a 63-year-old bow. Think about that. This bow is 63 years old, and I bet it would compete with some of the bows, even some of my newer bows, like well, this one is 54 pounds, but for instance, my Black Hunter recurve bow, I did a review on it. It shoots around the same speed. It's a little bit, about 45 pounds, but still, for a bow that's 63 years old, it's pretty impressive. All right. Let me see what I like about this bow. Now, what I like about this bow, it's very light. It weighs about 2 pounds, okay? It's a 62-inch bow, but it seems a lot more compact than that, okay? I mean, it's a true 62-inch, but you measure from limb tip to limb tip, now it's coming in around 57 inches, so it's a pretty compact bow, actually. It's very little to no hand shock. Yeah, I hate this. I love Florida, but this time of the year, I hate the weather, because due to the May, June time frame, it's just the humidity and the rain, it's terrible. And then we got August right around the corner. It's going to be even worse. It'll start cooling off down again around September, early October though. But anyway, so overall, let's say, oh yeah, the bow, it's 57 inches strong, 62 full length, unstrung. It does use a Dacron string. Does not have, cannot use fast flight. There's no reinforced tips to it. Weighs 2 pounds, a little less than 2 pounds. It shoots quiet. There's no hand shock. It's pretty quiet. I think once you get a new string on it and get it tuned, probably it'll shoot even better. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with a 63-year-old bow to shoot the way it does and as fast as it does. And amazing, this glass on it, this Bow Tuff glass that Gordon Plastics calls it, Bow Tuff. There's no cracks or stress marks or anything, which is pretty wild. I like the finish of the wood too. It's kind of like plain Jane, but I do like the design and color of the wood though. The grip is a nice medium grip. It fits your hand well. I would have no problem taking this to the woods and hunting with it. Matter of fact, I think I will hunt with this year just to try it, just to do some old school hunting. The quickie quiver, I was surprised. I thought this would be a piece of junk, would vibrate and come off, but this thing didn't move an inch. Didn't make any noise when the bow was going off, which is kind of impressive, because all this thing does is got a little clip here that holds onto your back arrow, which protects your broadheads. But it worked fine. It didn't come apart, and didn't shake loose. I mean, granted, I only shot maybe 30, 40 shots out of it, but still, it held up pretty well. And it came with the bow, so I can't complain. I'll probably replace that quiver with a more modern quiver, though. Overall, I'll give this bow high marks. I like the bow. It shoots well. It's accurate. It's a lot of fun to shoot these old vintage bows. They really are. If this bow could talk, can you imagine the history it could tell us? I mean, 63 years old, what kind of woods has this bow been into? What kind of game owls it shot? Who've owned the bow? I mean, this thing could talk, it would have stories to tell that would just boggle the mind, I bet. That's what I like about these old vintage bows. It takes you back to a simpler time, I think. And it was a simpler time back there. Like this bow was made in 1958. I mean, I wasn't even born then. I was born in, so I wasn't even born in 1958. But I mean, it was such a much simpler time, it seemed like. It's just, like I said, I wish this bow could talk and the stories it could tell. Alright, well, if you like this video, please click on that like button. Also, if you subscribe, please do so. And click that bell next to that subscribe button so I can notify upcoming videos. My next video coming out is going to be on a fast flight string comparison. I'm comparing 5 or 6 different fast flight strings from different companies on my bow to see how fast they are, how quiet they are, and compare them to a factory string. So that should be interesting. So look for that. I want to thank everybody for their support. This channel is growing bigger than I thought it would and faster than I thought it would, so thank you very much. And that's all I got to say about it. So this has been Todd with All Things Archery and Shooting. I want to thank you guys for watching. Until next time, ciao.